Osiris, Born of Osiris. Ah, this is, okay. This is a band. Born of Osiris, The Eternal Reign. So before I get going on this, Doc Doom, what's the background on this? Is this a heavy metal band? I'm looking at the artwork on their album, and just by looking at the font they chose, without even, it's that font. It's that heavy metal, you know, font, you know, of thorns and stuff. Looks pretty gnarly. Gents, great. Ladies and the gentlemen, let's do this for Doc Doom. Brogan McGinson, take care. We'll see you in a little bit. Let's do this. This is Born of Osiris. Recreate. All right. All right, I'm glad they repped with the keyboard on stage. Nice. Man, it's brutal. All right, yeah, this is absolutely ball-bastic brutal going on here. But there's tech stuff in the arrangements that are happening. First of all, I'm pumped that we had some representation on stage of the guy who's playing the pads, just to add the ambience, you know. Keyboardists have always had it kind of tough because, you know, it's an important part of a lot of bands, but you just can't. You can head snap and stuff, but you're kind of landlocked, you know. I know that there's guys like Jordan Rudis and Rudins, and other keyboard players that'll put keyboard straps on, but there's just something about that just doesn't have the Vaseline to make it work sometimes on stage. But that's just that thing. Also, there is a couple areas in here when the performer who's doing all the fried work, not quite a melody in there, but there is some melodic representation. But I love the fact that while he was performing, the guitar player had a really nice melodic lead line going. Not a solo, but a melodic lead line that was happening behind that. I thought that was badass. A little harmony on that. Like that. Drummer's killing it there. Ooh, a little fluffy chord there. That was nice. Nice little arpeggio going up there. To me, what's really paramount about this, and I don't talk about this much, is when I'm listening to this kind of 010 genty, heavy metalcore, hardcore metal, and all the subgenres that the the detuning or drop tuning supports. you know, to me, the second guitar, if there is one involved there, having pretty wide intervals in their melodic lead lines is paramount for me. Just for me, I'm kind of a interval kind of guy. I mean, when you're doing super fast shredding, which I every once in a while, there's a few runs I can kind of maybe barely knock off because I'm not a shredder, but in between it though, what's so important to me are the intervals in between the notes that the lead line is playing. And you save the really close intervals for running. That's the great thing about tapping. When you're tapping and you have these wide intervals, you can actually have 8, 12, 14 fret intervals, that you're doing here. That kind of gives you that big spread and stuff. But when it comes to these darker, heavy pieces like this, the couple of years that I've been listening on the Decomposer Lounge, I'm really pulled into lead line guys that are doing more intervallic work. Who's that comedian that does that? Bang, bang. Nice. Smack that China. See what that pad adds to it? That keyboard pad, that spookiness. Man, that was sick. I've never heard of this band. This was great, man. I'm definitely gonna have to snip this off from the Twitch stream and put it on the Decomposer Lounge. Born of Osiris, Recreate. Okay, I'm gonna ask a real stupid question here, but is the band called Born of Osiris? And the song is Recreate, right? Something else that was really super, noticeable for me, and I really enjoyed it. The precision in editing and things that you can do when it comes to the chuggy guitar stuff. You can edit in these little micro bursts of space in it, and sometimes it just sounds fantastic. Everything is absolutely. In this case, it sounded like, even in the really fast stuff, I knew they were chugging, but they kept it raw and powerful and organic, so it didn't sound kind of inauthentic. I don't want to say inauthentic is not the word, but you could just tell if you're an engineer, if you're a producer, if you're a musician, a band member, and you hear certain chugs, you're going, yeah, they're cleaning up the front and the back of each chug, to make it that definitive. And it's not to say, hang on for a second before I get smoked in the comments, I know that there are musicians with phenomenal muting techniques that can do that, and their pickups and what they're running their gear through. But for me, I can't do it. I've tried for the last couple of years of being on the Decomposer Lounge. I even bought a 7-string, and just because I was influenced, I was going, this old man's not done yet. And I tried, and then I learned I was too much distortion and stuff. So, but I still have a hard time with the super fat gauge strings and getting that, that kind of a thing. I guess it's just a matter of practice, but hats off to the musicians on this. It was great. Super big hats off. Keyboardist. Let's do that, man. I love to see the keys on the stage, and I love to, a lot of times you'll find that of late that, you have a laptop, to trigger things, which is fine too. That's part of today's, especially with the kind of production, but to actually see a band that has the keyboardist up there doing this thing it's always a nice thing to see, especially sign of the times, how much money it costs for traveling, extra band members and all that. Sometimes you just go, well, we've only got 4 keyboard parts on 12 songs. It's easier to bring a laptop and just trigger it. And that's okay too. I'm just saying. It's nice to see the keyboarder on stage. You know what I mean?